Hello. As someone who served in the Peace Corps and has worked on humanitarian issues most of my life, and many of my friends who have done the same, we have a few questions for so-called pro-lifers. Why is it that you seem to care more about fetuses and embryos and conception, or the day after pill, more than people who are alive and suffering? Some of my issues I have worked on are clean water in poor countries, like UNICEF issues. Famine, which a plant-based diet is shown to reduce food waste drastically, to reduce world hunger. And we also worked on other initiatives, aside from clean water, medicine. Many people are dying around the world from lack of clean water or simple things like medicine. And those are my bigger concerns. Well, they are concerned about the day after pill and conception. But once they're born, they don't want to support welfare or help in any way. Now, the one that's most baffling to me is they don't want free birth control access due to religious extremism. Free birth control access, they don't have to take it themselves, but for others, use my taxes for that, and everyone who supports it. Free birth control has saved taxpayers millions and millions of dollars in future welfare costs and has lowered termination rates 40% in the state of Colorado. So this is not exercising logic. This is religious extremism that is against logic. So they do not support free birth control. In poor countries, if religion wasn't in the way, free birth control would alleviate the suffering drastically. I care about suffering, not conception and ideologies as a humanitarian. I focus on real causes that are affecting millions of people who are slowly suffering to death, like famine, clean water access, food waste. But supporting welfare, universal health care, we have socialist public schools, so why can't we have health care, should be part of the pro-life agenda, not guns, conception, religion that oppresses gays and such, and women's rights. And they are all for guns to kill animals and stuff, and subsidies for factory farms like Chick-fil-A, which waste tons of our resources and food. But I just have those concerns for pro-lifers who are supposed to care about others. Why is it that you care more about conception and what women simply remove from their body than all the real humanitarian issues that are being almost ignored in the U.S. and abroad? There's 500,000 kids and teenagers in our foster care system alone that they don't adopt. There's many kids that are food insecure in America, and they don't want to support welfare food stamps for. They don't want to support the birth control to save the money and prevent that future problem, those future problems. If people can't afford to raise a kid, or if they can't afford birth control, how do they think they're going to afford to raise a kid? You can't be as rigid, say personal responsibility. At some point you need to actually take action because there's innocent children involved. And I'm not talking about the embryo conception, unformed fetus, so-called unborn children, the PC term they like to use. So, as a humanitarian, stands up for human and against animal cruelty and real suffering of sentient beings, I don't know how pro-lifers can ignore all these issues. So go get your gun, shoot some animals, and support the fetuses and embryos, and then go to church. Seriously, these are serious issues, and I challenge them to improve on them. Thank you.